Another day, another viral post claiming that the Princess of Wales takes taxpayer-funded vacations, and this time social media users have tied the claim to an old story about the Middletons' former business owing debts, as if that somehow proves royal spending habits. Once again, it's the same misinformation being recycled, and it's time to finally nip this myth in the bud. Although I don't actually know how successful that's going to be, because obviously people are still going to say stuff, even if I post this video. But maybe this will, spread a bit of education to the critics once again. The claim that members of the royal family use taxpayer money for their holidays is completely false. Personal trips and family holidays are privately funded, paid for from income generated by the Duchy of Cornwall for the Prince and Princess of Wales and the Duchy of Lancaster for the Sovereign. The duchies are not government bodies and do not receive taxpayer funding. They are historic, privately managed estates that generate revenue from farmland properties, businesses and commercial investments. Think of them like this: if you own land or a property that produces rental income, that income belongs to you. The duchies operate under the same principle. They are working estates, and their profits provide an income to support the official duties and charitable work of the senior royals, as well as people that work for the duchies, employees and stuff like that. They get paid by the duchy, of course, as well. That means that when the Prince and Princess of Wales take a holiday with their children, it is funded by their own money, earned through the duchy's operations, not from taxpayers. And obviously earned from their income as working royals as well. Everybody has to be paid, doesn't matter what you do, whether you're a member of the government or you're a member of the royal family, everybody has to be paid. There are very few jobs in the UK alone that actually, mean that you can earn a living and share your money with charities and foundations to help other people that are less fortunate than yourself. It's not like the royal family take all of this money and just use it for their own gain, They share this money with their foundations, patronages, and charities alike, Why is that so hard for these critics to understand? It's literally not rocket science. A separate funding source, the sovereign grant, is where most confusion arises. This grant covers official expenses, the upkeep of royal palaces, the salaries of staff working for the royal family, and the cost of travel for official engagements carried out on behalf of the Crown. It is not a personal allowance. No member of the royal family can just dip into the sovereign grant whenever they feel like it for private spending. And here's the part that's always, almost, ignored online. The sovereign grant is funded by the Crown Estate's profits, not by general taxation. The Crown Estate is a portfolio of assets, land, property and investments that legally belongs to the reigning monarch but is managed independently, and its profits go directly to the treasury, with a small percentage going back to the sovereign grant to fund the royal family's official duties. Every year, the Crown Estate brings in hundreds of millions of pounds for the UK government. The sovereign grant is simply a percentage, currently around 12 to 25% of those profits return to the monarchy to cover the cost of its official duties. The rest, roughly 500 million or more annually, goes straight to public funds, so in reality the monarchy gives the government far more than it receives. On top of that, both the King and the Prince of Wales voluntarily pay income tax on their duchy earnings, something no law requires them to do, but they choose to in the interest of transparency. The Duchy of Cornwall also covers staff costs, charitable donations, community projects and environmental work, all of which contribute directly to the UK economy and society. Meanwhile, senior royals support hundreds of charities, helping raise millions every year for hospitals, youth organisations and local causes. The issue is simple: a lack of education about how the monarchy and the UK constitutional system actually work. Other countries, such as the United States and France, teach children in school how their political and financial systems operate. Here in Britain, most people finish school without any understanding of how the Crown, Parliament and the Treasury interact, and that gap has left the public vulnerable to social media myths like that one I basically showed you wonderful lot at the start of this video. When people don't understand the duchies are self-funded in centuries-old estates, or that the sovereign grant is financed through the Crown Estate's own revenue, it's easy for bad information to spread unchecked. And that's exactly what happens. People see a tweet, assume it's true and repeat it, without ever learning how royal funding actually functions. And sadly, a lot of people get stuck in that, circle. They see a post, they believe it, and then they see another post and get confused, stuff like that. Another narrative that needs addressing is the criticism of the Princess of Wales for supposedly taking too many holidays. Let's be honest, she is not a machine. She's a mother of 3 young children who also happens to be a senior working royal. Taking breaks with her children during school holidays is entirely normal. Millions of people across the world do the same. Being a working royal doesn't mean being on duty every day of the year. Like any professional with a family, she balances her official commitments with private time spent raising her children. Critics seem to forget that the Wales family's breaks are rare moments of normalcy in an otherwise high-pressure, heavily scrutinised life. Is it really a crime to be a mum and a working role at the same time? If anything, her approach shows the human side of royalty, a woman prioritising her children while still performing one of the most public roles in the world. That balance deserves respect, not ridicule. The fact is that the royal family is one of the most financially transparent institutions in the country. Their accounts are audited and published every year, open for anyone to read, and they give back to the UK through tourism, cultural heritage and charity work, while also generating vast income through the Crown Estate, money that benefits every taxpayer. Meanwhile, it's Parliament and the government whose spending remains largely opaque, with far fewer public breakdowns of how taxpayer funds are actually distributed. So no, the Princess of Wales's holidays are not paid for by taxpayers. They are funded by her family's private income, earned from their own land and estate, just like any other working landowner. And until people understand that, we'll keep seeing these false claims like this. And that's why it's time for the UK to start teaching not just politics in schools, but the structure of the monarchy, how it supports the country, and the financial truth behind it.